Guys, Deluded Guna, I'm back again. YouTube's N'Golo Kante. I know my football, and I'm only gonna get better and learning more. And in that regard, I don't think I know a lot because when you think you know stuff, you open yourself up to complacency. Complacency leads to stupidity. Stupidity leads to failure. I am a very young person, and I'm on my way to getting better. But somebody asked me I don't even know how to put it, my coaching philosophies or footballing philosophies or what I like to look for in players or whatever. So I thought, let me write it down. Firstly, I'd like to say I'm very critical of players, especially players I like, because that's how football is. It doesn't matter if you scored 3 goals in one game. The next game, no one gives a crap. It's ruthless from grassroots to the top level. You're seeing it. That's probably why I don't give a lot of leeway. So yeah, let's start with, I like to call them the 3 C's. And yeah, man, competency. Ultimately, can someone kick a football? Can someone catch a ball? Can someone throw a ball? Can he overlap? Like, can he control a ball? Can he lace it? These sort of things. Obviously, according to age, you have a bit of leeway and you're looking for certain things. I mean, if he's under 8s, he can work on that. If he's under 16s, it's really, you can work on it, but you really should be able to lace a football. So ultimately, competency, because without that, I mean, if Messi couldn't kick a football, he wouldn't be the best in the world. It's that simple. It's just competency. The next one, for me, is confidence. Now, this is probably a bit... Now, competency is equally as important, but confidence, particularly away from home and in hostile environments, because anyone can be comfortable when everybody's for you, when the crowd are with you. But what really shows character is when you're away from home, hostile environments. I know, looking back at my time, we used to play at some very hostile grounds where you see a lot of gangbangers out there, and I know a lot of you lot are from London. That could be intimidating, but you can't be scared. You have to do your job. And if you can picture as a fullback, you can hear certain comments when you're going for the throw-ins and things like that. And when you're really in them sort of sides, you know how wary you have to be in it. So these sort of things, courage. People get scared very easily. Added to away from the hostile environments and just looking at a footballing basis. If you make a mistake, are you going to go try it again? If you try a skill and it doesn't pay off, are you going to shy away or are you going to try it again? If you clip a ball over the top and it doesn't pay off, are you going to try it again? That's what I like to see. I like to see people that are going to try it again. We all make mistakes. But what makes the difference is confidence. Do you know how many times Ronaldo must have shanked them free kicks in games before he actually bagged one in against Portsmouth and things like that? Confidence. That makes the difference. That can make a crap player amazing, and that can make an amazing player not have anything. Not to dig him out, but Luke Shaw, you can see he's lacking in confidence. And then you go and look at Rashford, he's amazing in confidence. 2 different positions, but 2 very contrasting careers at Manchester United so far. Obviously, that's black and white. We know when we get into the micro why their circumstances are different, but you get where I'm going. And perhaps the most important out of the 3 C's for me personally, what can make a crap player, like I just said, amazing, what can make an amazing player accomplish nothing, which can literally make the difference between getting released and working in Sainsbury's or accomplishing stardom. Consistency. Do you want to get better? It's taken players like Ronaldo and Bale from relatively mediocre statures and made them amazing. Ronaldo weren't mediocre, but you get where I'm going. No one thought it was going to be like that unless you was Fergie. Things like that. Consistency, is the most amazing thing. That's why you've seen many top prospects accomplish nothing and many underrated players go on to have careers. Consistency. Like I said at the beginning, it don't matter if you scored 3 goals in one game. You need to go and do it all the time. Consistency, and I don't feel that is highlighted enough in today's football because when you hear certain players, they're next this, they're next that, but there's no consistency. It's nonsense. They're mainly the 3 points I look at, and then away from that, my bias is towards pace, aggression, movement, technical footballers. Personally, I don't like to run in it. I've never been a footballer who likes to run, so I like to see passing and things like that. To describe my philosophy will be Jose meets Wenger in the sense that I'm very strong on being sound defensively, but I do like interchanging passes, confidence to try flicks, all these little things. Poetry in motion meets the general cerebral assassin. That's the way I look at it. I do like how Pep looks at defensive stuff as well. I like to defend from the front. I like players to be in charge of certain areas and things like that. I like to defend and attack as a team and things like that. I like to make the most of set pieces. I like to see competency defensively. 2 banks of 4, shuffle runners across, drop a couple yards if you know the striker is fast, come up a couple yards if you know the striker is slow and you're having the majority of the ball and you've got enough pace to recovery. These are the sort of things I look at. If the best way to look at how I look at defenders, strikers, and thingies is a car. Okay, I had to write this down as well. The nuts and bolts and steel of the car, they're the defenders. You don't necessarily pay attention to them, or you're not necessarily paying to watch them, but they hold it up together. They are the foundation somewhat. You get where I'm going. The midfield is the petrol. Because without the petrol, you can't push the car. If you think about it, if the midfielders don't defend, the defenders are gonna get ripped. Midfielders don't support strikers. It's a lonely day. Without the petrol, you can't use the car. And then you've got the strikers, which are the bonnet of the car, the shininess. Oh look, it's a shiny foreign, it's a Mercedes, it's a German thing, it's a German whip, etc. The strikers are the people you come and watch the game, right? They're the reason that get you out of your seats. Messi and Ronaldo and all of these guys. You get it? So that's how I look at things. For me, it's about balance as well. It's about balance. I like you see my videos about Ramsey. I like balance. I like technical quality. I like skillfulness, and I like to make the most of set pieces. Of course, there's too much for me to mention in one vid, but if you want me to expand or talk about slightly different topics in relation to this, I will. But as of today, as of right now, guys, deluded Guna, I'm signing out. Hope I've nipped this one in the bud. Get in the comments, subscribe, do the rest. I'm out.